I'll come to you next, Eva.
Connected to the aid letter, we were told by UNRWA at CBS, we were told that we're on track to another man-made disaster in Gaza. Go figure. UNRWA assesses that food deliveries have been continuously declining since May. The Biden administration's NSM report came out at the end of May. UNRWA assesses that 1 million people didn't get food in August, and now the figure is around 1.4 million not getting food. Is this a timeline that the State Department is also tracking in terms of food aid declining and not reaching that number of people since May?
I can't speak to their numbers. I haven't seen that report. Those are their numbers, not ours. But we have seen the situation get incredibly serious and incredibly dire. And that's why we have been engaging with them to make clear that there needed to be a change in behavior. There needed to be a turnaround. And when we didn't see sufficient results, it's why the two secretaries sent this letter that they sent on Sunday. Now, over the past few days, as I said, we've seen some initial positive steps. We need to see much more done on the ground to make sure that people get the food, water, medicine, and other goods that they need to get. These initial steps have been important. They are not at all sufficient in any way to address the very serious humanitarian needs on the ground inside Gaza.
So I'm asking in the sense that if you had been tracking that, is it possible that at some point the department could have, and the administration could have, reopened the assessment of whether Israel is restricting aid getting in or not? And I know you talk about like it being a problem with Hamas taking the aid inside the Strip, and that's also affecting people getting it. But was there at any point did at any point the administration look at reopening that assessment early? I know you have to do it again in May, but
no. It's not a question of reopening the assessment or not. We have to make a report again to Congress in May. Our assessment has been ongoing, and that's what we made clear when we released the report. Is that the report that you have to release the report at a snapshot in time that is mandated by National Security Memo 20. And the judgment that we made in that report was a judgment about where things stood when we released the report. And we made clear in releasing that report that our assessment would be ongoing. We'd wait until May to issue a report again, but we weren't going to wait until May to make further assessments. They have been ongoing, and it is our ongoing assessment of the declining levels of humanitarian assistance that led us to step up our interventions with the government of Israel that ultimately got us to where we were when we sent this letter.
But if this assessment is ongoing, does this department at least have an idea of how many people were not getting any food in August, for example?
I don't. I can tell you that if you just look at the level of humanitarian assistance coming in, the level had declined dramatically, and the level in September was the lowest it had been in the past year, and that levels were down by 50%.
What window are we talking about here in September? Because we saw those new customs rules introduced by Israel. So are we talking about September, October, that this is becoming...
They had declined dramatically in September, and they had gone down even more in October.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I told Eva I'd come to her next.
Yes.